Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is JT from Above and Below the Belt. I want to talk about the Julian Williams versus Jarrett Hurd fight. I know I'm kind of late, but I still want to speak my mind on what I've seen and about the fight. You know, one thing is, of course, the outcome was surprising a little bit at the same time, but I didn't know. I mean, I think I've seen a couple of fights of Julian Williams, but the one fight I did see him in when he fought was Jamal Charlo when he got knocked out, I think in the fourth or fifth round, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I've seen that fight. And he has one loss and one draw, and I think 27 wins and I think 17 KOs now. And you know, one thing is I made a video of it, but I never did have a chance to put it out. You know what I'm saying? It's still in my still on my computer and stuff like that. So ain't no reason for me to put it out right now because I thought Jarrett Hurd was going to win that fight. You know, I thought he was going to put on pressure and stuff like that, but at the same time, it was a different outcome, and I was kind of surprised about it too because I didn't, Julius Williams is not like a popular fighter, recognized, on an elite level or whatever. But now he has the 3 straps. Now he won it. And the fight wasn't even close to me. He beat him. And one thing is he got the knockout in the knockdown in the second round. And I think that it was no looking back then. So he knew he had a chance of winning that fight now since he got a knockdown. Because most people come into a boxing match with somebody who has the belts. It's really to the beginning to the end of the fight. If it's a close fight, they will award the champion. You know what I'm saying? But Julian J Rock wasn't gonna. It was no chance that was gonna happen. He was gonna let that happen. He wasn't gonna let the slide slip between his hands and stuff like that. So he took it in his own hands and did what he had to do. He had a good game plan. He got Jarrett Hurd against the ropes a lot, pinned him against the ropes, and J Rock was tired too at the same time when I seen too at the same time, and every time he was throwing a left or right, Julian J Rock to Jarrett Hurd's body or face, whatever, because Jarrett Hurd don't fight like a tall guy. He fought fought like a little guy, and you seen when he was just swinging which his punches didn't have no effect really at all. That's why I knew that Julian J Rock had a chance of winning this fight. Not just because of the knockdown, because I mean Jarrett Hurd never been knocked down, but at the same time, the whole fight to the first to the 12th round. It was a good fight. This is the most entertaining fight that I've seen so far this year. I would say this fight was better than Mike Garcia and Errol Spence fight. This just my opinion because of the knockdown maybe, but you know what I'm saying. But Errol Spence and Mike Garcia probably was second, maybe probably third. It depends on Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. That fight was really good fight too. I think that was the second part, the third, whatever. So, but the first fight to me this year is Julian J Rock versus Jarrett Hurd, and one thing is that shows you that Jarrett Hurd got to go back to the drawing board. He got exposed because I'll talk about when Julian J Rock was throwing left and right to the body and to the head. He was moving to I think he was moving to the right of him. And Jarrett Hurd couldn't find him. He was balling up at the same time. And what kind of surprised me about Julian J Rock Williams, he stayed in the pocket and was banging with Jarrett Hurd. You know what I'm saying? And I think Julian J Rock was hurt just a little bit, but it seemed like to me Jarrett Hurd was hurt in multiple different rounds. He didn't get knocked out. He didn't get knocked down. He got knocked down in the second, but after that, he was hurt in a couple more rounds. Maybe 3 rounds. When I seen the fight, he was hurt, and everybody said Julian J Rock have a punch, man. You don't want to get that Jamal Charlo fight. That shows you how That shows you how good Jamalo is and how hard he hit. I mean, because he was taking Jarrett Hurd shots, and he took them well. I mean, of course, his face didn't look like it. You know what I'm saying? Both of their face didn't look like it at all. But at the same time, man, Julian, he hits hard. You know what I'm saying? And he got one loss. And I mean, hey, you know, with Julian J. Rock said, because a person got one loss don't mean that he's down and out. His career is over with. It's just beginning. It depends on how you go back to the drawing board and go back to the camp and how you train and stuff like that. And this shows you how good he is. And you know, one thing, I had Jarrett Hurd, the number 6 on my pound list, but now he's not on my pound list now because he lost the fight convincingly. It was even I don't know why he even raised his hand up at the end to try to make it seem like he think that he won a fight, but he know he lost his fight. Jarrett Hurd daddy knew he lost his fight. And the thing about it is, Julian Williams is the 6th. I think he's 6 on my pound list. Julian Williams is 6 on my pound list now. And you know, some people say he might be 5th now because he got the 3 straps now, 2 at the same time. He's the number 1 middleweight right now in boxing right now because he beat Jarrett Hurd, who have been knocked down. He knocked Jarrett Hurd knocked down Laura. He made Austin Trout quit in the corner, and he knocked out Tony Harrison. You see what I'm saying? And now he's got I think it was a rematch clause in his in the contract. I think Jarrett Hurd's probably gonna try to definitely do the rematch. But this tells you right here that I knew one thing about Jarrett Hurd. He was dodging Jermell Charlo, and this is what happens when you wait too long and wait it out and try to talk about I want a tune-up fight, and that's another way to dodge people too at the same time to get tune-up fights. You know what I'm saying? And Jermell wanted to fight, and Jarrett Hurd didn't want to fight. See, when you prolong it, now you know what now. I might still want to see Jarrett Hurd and Jermell Charlo fight, but now I want to see Julian Williams and Jermell, or Julian Williams versus Tony Harrison. You know what I'm saying? If I was Julian Williams, I would go for Jermell or Tony Harrison after that fight. That's what I do. Since Jarrett Hurd didn't go for the fight and get that belt, the WBC belt, that's what I do. Shoot, you know what I'm saying? So if he beat Jermell or Tony Harrison, that puts him up. See, he might be number 5th, and Errol Spence would go backwards, be number 6. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion. And what y'all think about the fight? Did y'all like the fight? Do you think that what you think that Jarrett Hurd need to do now to make himself better? Of course, I know y'all gonna say he need to work on his defense and because J Rock was the fastest one. He had the fastest hands. He was the fastest, a quick fighter. As you know, his feet movement was good. He didn't have to run around the ring a lot. He didn't run away from Jarrett Hurd. He brought up to Jarrett Hurd, which was the good game plan. And his punches was concisely. It was perfect. It was right in the stomach and in the head and all that. And he rocked Jarrett Hurd about 2 or 3 more rounds. He was hurt. And, you know what I'm saying? So, but what y'all think about this fight? You know what I'm saying? Would y'all like to see it again? Do you think do you think Julian Williams need to fight Tony Harrison versus Jermell Charlo, whoever win that fight? You know, or what? What y'all think about Julian Williams? Do y'all think he's pound for pound now, or do you think he's not? What y'all think? Leave a comment at the bottom of my page. Subscribe to my page. Like my page. Hit the notification bell for new videos from me. This is JT from Above and Below the Belt. All right, bye.